Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Food for Thought. And as you know, it is about holistic living that we discuss about. We've had so many speakers, the doctors, psychologists, models, and actors sharing their experiences. So today we have Lydia Binil, who's a success coach, and she works on trauma healing, both childhood and adulthood. And she's the founder of Trauma to Triumph. So let's hear from Lydia more about what she does and go forward from there. Hi, Lydia. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Great. Thank you, Lydia, again. Tell us something more about yourself, your journey as to, how did this whole journey of a success mentor begin? And what do you do?
Absolutely. So it started probably back in 2015 when my little one was born. Always wanted to do something by myself. And I was like, okay, this is the time I would like to prioritize my children, at the same time, build something meaningful for myself, right? Rather than continue the corporate rat race that you can call it as, right? So I thought this is the perfect time to probably reshuffle, rethink the way my career and my parenthood could start at this place, kind of a thing. So I started with humble beginnings as a productivity coach, business coaching, and that's when I was like, okay, my clients need something more than strategy. My clients need more than what the gurus are offering here because they have the strategy, they have the numbers, they have all the tools, but still they're not able to hit their mark or potential that they want to. And they're going into this feast and famine mode that I was seeing, even though I saw that their product or their service was so valuable, they were not able to meet those targets. There was something that we couldn't see. And I started searching around what is that invisible force that is contributing to this famine and feast, and then again famine and then feast, this whole yo-yo cycle. And that's when I started learning more about the mind, more about the subconscious mind and the power that is lying in there, then went ahead, studied, got certified, and here am I sitting in front of you after serving almost 9,000 people in the last 9 years. And yeah, the rest is history that this space of healing childhood and adulthood trauma has taken over my business, and I literally have time just for that at this moment. And I have niched into this. And yeah, that's my journey of how I got here.
That's great, Lydia. And yeah, I've attended one of your sessions myself, like the meditation, and it was amazing. The whole process and the feeling, and post that, the feeling that I got was amazing. And you have such a healing and soothing voice as well, that I think is the icing on the cake there that helps all of us. And you do so many things, right? It sounds very simple, but it's a lot in the back end that happens, because when we talk about trauma, and one of the key things as a parent myself, which I think about, and a learning that I should go through, is rewiring ourselves as parents. To and when I spoke about this topic, and then I'm going to be interviewing you, I had a couple of parents, reach out to me, and they have some questions for you. So I thought probably we'll begin from there, and also as a follow up of one of the interviews that I did with Tanya Sahu on childhood trauma. There were many questions that came up. So I think you're the best person to answer. So I would probably start off with the questions I have. How to stop repeating patterns you swore you'd never repeat as a parent?
Hmm. Wow, big question. Sounds like a simple question, but first thing, first thing is to notice that there is a pattern, right? So it could be a pattern in behavior, right? Usually we're just carried away with the behavior of us as parents, right? And then what happens after the behavior or the pattern sets in? There is guilt
Yeah,
around what we do.
yeah,
And then comes shame, and then comes resentment, then there is blame. You know, it's actually one after another after another. And then after cooling down for a couple of days, we repeat it. We repeat it. It might take different shapes and forms, but we tend to repeat it. If that is happening to you, if you're watching this, good thing you're in the awareness stage, which is
Yeah.
good, because most people go through life and they don't even know that they were doing that, right? We end our lives not even knowing that, oh, I did this, oh, I was in this pattern. So, good news, you have the awareness. So, when our behavior is going in a particular pattern, right? So, right now, you're nodding your head.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking that, okay, now Lydia has said something, Uttara, now you have to nod your head, you have to go up and down. You're not doing that. So that's your subconscious mind taking over and responding. You know what I'm saying? It's not a conscious thing that you think. It is a subconscious reaction to what I am saying. Similarly, there are subconscious patterns. Let's say that's the conscious mind, and that's the subconscious mind. There are subconscious patterns there. And that is why you are repeating the same cycle in a different way. It's like a software program.
Mm-hmm.
So the means to change this whole pattern is to see in your subconscious mind, okay, what is that pattern? What is that belief? What is underneath that? So, for example, people say in homes very easily, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. It's a normal thing in people's homes that people say, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, right? And what does that mean? It's there in the subconscious mind that you have to work hard for it, you have to wait. There is a whole lot of conditioning around every paradigm of subconscious belief that we have,
Right.
right? So it just needs that one trigger from that child. It just needs that one trigger. And when there is a trigger, no, note this. If you have a child, you would know this. If you have a child and they have a remote control car, and after some point you're like using the remote control car, you're using the remote control and it stops working. You change the battery, it stops working. What do you do?
Again, you
What do you
change
do?
it, and if it doesn't work, then you just need to dispose that.
Yeah, yeah. Simple, right?
Yeah.
That's because the buttons have lost their connection to make it work,
Right.
which
Okay.
means there is no undercurrent. So if there is a trigger, which means there is something under the carpet happening for you, you like it or not, you know it or not, there is something under the carpet that is happening. It could be like your child might be showing you who you are. Your child might be most likely our children when they show different aspects of us. We don't like that about ourselves. And we are scared if our child would become like us in that aspect. And that's the reason, that's the trigger, that's the current under that button. So you don't push your buttons. When we say the next time you say to yourself or to others, don't push these buttons, which means there is current under those buttons. It's
Hmm.
not ready to be thrown out yet. Which means, what does it mean? That space of belief pattern needs healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. If you're wondering, that's a long-winded answer to your one question, but if you are wondering, okay, how do I change this? How do I change this awareness, this pattern? I don't want to do this, but I'm becoming like my mom. I'm becoming like my dad, and I'm repeating this whole thing again and again. That's because we are within those four walls and no, there's nobody to judge us within our safe space. And we let loose to be ourselves. And that's where our real nature comes in, which is the unhealed nature.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I hear a lot of them say, well, watch your actions, which all of us keep saying, hey, watch your actions, your kids are watching. So because they tend to pick it up from you. And two is also because, yeah, as you said, there's an unhealed parent. And I saw that on a couple of your messages and your reels saying an unhealed parent. no, I mean, a traumatic child has an unhealed parent. Did I say that right? Yeah. So yeah, okay. That okay. So that's great. Thanks for that, Lydia. And the next question, I think, again, as a follow-up, and I think you partially answered that question, the subconscious triggers that hijack your parenting style. I guess that's because we as parents learn from our parents, right? So, yeah, so the question is like, okay, what do we do for those subconscious triggers that hijack your parenting?
Mm. There are multiple reasons why the subconscious triggers actually hijack your parenting is because of our first reason is because of our lifestyle,
Hmm.
because we have bought into the conditioning of our life in the first place, that this is how life has to be. And we have bought into the pressure of life itself. And then we are willing to pass a good part of it to the next generation without analyzing, is this conditioning actually real? Just opening your eyes and looking around. Okay, is this conditioning real? Is there another way to live? For example, productivity is the biggest disease that we are actually going through as humanity at the moment. Being productive every single second of our time. Or, and every time you catch up with your friend, like, that person, that friend who says, oh, I did this, and then I did this, and I did that, and then I ran here, like more than Wonder Woman, where productivity is just idolized so much. What do you expect the body to do and be? Today, you might not know, but you are heightening your nervous system responses to that flight or fight mode. And that's when your mind can forget, your body can never forget. Your body remembers today or tomorrow. The stress of life that you put yourself through and the children and the household takes physical and mental real estate.
Wow. Uh, that's amazing what you said, that your mind can heal, but the body cannot. And I did hear that in one of your podcasts as well, and that got me thinking. And I could relate to an incident that I saw a child actually tell his mom, saying, "Hey, he was 10, but he could relate to the way his mom held his hand when he was 4," and that was I was like taken aback. I said, "You were 4. How did you remember that?" "No, my mom held my hand tight." So that's what I guess we're talking about. Even the whole touch and all of that is still there. The child didn't show as a trauma, but looks like there was something left back behind that particular touch of his mom, which probably he didn't expect. So that's amazing the way our body's designed, our mind's designed. And I guess that's where many times we think there's no trauma and how did this all happen, but there have been incidents while you're growing or while in your journey of life that you've experienced such things. Amazing.
Mm,
Mm.
mm, mm.
Great. Well, the next question, and before I just ask you the next question, I must say this topic is very interesting, and I was going to tell the viewers we'll have more of these questions coming in, and we would have more of the episodes with you. Yeah. So yeah, the next question is rewiring your mind to create a safe, loving environment for your children. This is, of course, an extension of what you just spoke.
It is so important. It is so important for you and me to put our foot down and do this as a service for our next generations.
I agree.
Because what we've been through, trauma, the word itself is traumatized. People think, oh, when you say trauma, people immediately, the trauma is like this bucket, like the word trauma is like a bucket. And you say trauma, they're like, oh, this is not mine, actually. That's somebody else's. Because the word itself is very heavy. People can't or and don't want to take it for themselves. People look at probably huge, big accidents, sexual abuse, And all those big stuff says only trauma. But there are different other things that we are going through today. Our body is saying, our blood work is saying, our hair fall is saying, our acne breakouts are saying, the way we lose it when nobody is watching with our kids, that is saying, the way, the number of times, or the way we have intimacy with our partners, that is saying, right? Other relationships with friends, that is saying. So everything under the carpet, in closed doors, is probably saying there is this misalignment, but we don't want to talk about it, right? So you and I, Uttara, it is a disservice that we would be doing to our generation if we don't put our foot down and say, I am actually just a human being who've been through a bunch of experiences, good experiences and not so good. And the not so good has contributed to this being believing like this, behaving like this, perceiving like this. I want to heal all of that so that I can come to a space of neutral perspective in life where I can see things for what it is. So trauma does nothing but gives you a different colored lenses. It gives you a different colored glasses. It's like you have all the different tinted glasses with you, and as per different triggers, you just change your glasses. That's what trauma does. And you end up going through life not even seeing for what it is. So, how can we do this? How can you and I become that healing presence in our homes for the generations to come? We slow down first. We move away from this plague of productivity treadmill. We
Mm.
slow down, put our foot down, connect back to ourselves, to our bodies. Start doing this one thing, guys, whoever is watching. Every day, 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., switch off every device or just walk away from your home. Just get out on the road and just walk for a minute. Walk for a minute, 60 seconds, and come back without your phones in your pocket, without your smartwatches. No one's going to give you an award for counting your steps for that day. For 1 minute, nothing's going to happen, right? Everything cannot be analyzed, counted, and put into a metric and say who you are. No, 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 no. It's beyond that. Get away from all of that and start slowing down. Slowing down. I'll give you more practical tips in the next episode, but start slowing down for yourself and teach slowing down for your children. It's not to go from one class to another class to another class. Do you think that's actually very productive for your kids? What are you trying to show and who are you trying to show?
Right, right.
Or probably you're trying to show to yourself or trying to thrust upon them what you probably couldn't do, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just coming to say slow down, and then you would have awareness. You would start seeing things a bit different. Then you would be guided as to who and how you can take help to seek help for what is broken inside of you. And it's okay. I've been in this field for so long and I still seek help. It is no joke that because I am in this field of work and I've helped so many women, I can help myself. No, Lydia can't. Lydia can't see her blind spot. I need that person who can heal me, hold that space for me. And I take it very serious. I pay the big bucks to sit in that space to be healed, even today. And so it is your responsibility as a parent to become that healing presence. That when people see Uttara in the house, she brings the house, the calmness down. She is the magnet of presence in your family. So start with that, and I'll give you more practical tips as you only if you do this homework of slowing down, right?
Yeah.
One of my clients told us after the session, Lydia, I was inspired to bring our decibels down, decibels of our voice down after 9 p.m. We bring it down 50%.
Wow. Mm,
And when the mother did that, the whole house stopped yelling. After 9, they were actually bringing their nervous system down.
wow.
And they're actually sleeping better, getting better dreams. So less treatment, right? The house, the home becomes a place of healing, calming presence, not a crazy another place where they have to perform and be on their toes. Right? I'm not against performing and doing and being in discipline. No, I'm not against that. But when you do that with this slow down, beautiful, grounded approach, you will go farther. Else you might burn out in the middle.
Great. Thanks for that. Actually, that there's a lot of takeaway for me, right? As a parent, like one, I love the fact you said take a break at least for a minute. I mean, it's not a lot, take small steps. So, a minute of a break with no technology and just a walk. So, that's all about, again, mindfulness, just to get that cool down and recharging yourself. That's great. And I can imagine that would try calm me down as a parent, which will help me perform. Like we talk about performance at work, but I guess perform as a person, as a human being better, calmer, and takes me back to the what I read, that a stressful mom gets a stressful family and a child, traumatic child. So I guess that calms my child, and in turn, they perform better. As you said, if we're pushing kids to do multiple things, they cannot take that stress while I'm stressed. So when I'm calm, they perform better. So that's great. I think that's a takeaway for me, Lydia. Thank you so much. And I'm sure a lot of my viewers can relate to this for different situations and implement this. So, as I said, this is an amazing topic. We have lots of questions coming in. So, we would definitely have, and we will have, in our next episode and continue more of those questions. So, viewers, keep watching, and we will continue our discussion with Lydia Binil in our next episode. Thank you so much. And thank you, Lydia.
All right, darling. Take care.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. See you in the next
Thanks.
one. Bye
And
bye.
your details would be in the description box. And viewers, you can feel free to reach out to Lydia. Thank you.